Hello, welcome back to Praise&Oshoke's channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe so that you can get amazing content like this whenever I put up a video. For our viewers, subscribers, thank you for being there. We appreciate you. Today we're talking about parenting godly children and the influence of cartoon. Yes, cartoon in the 21st century.
Absolutely.
So I would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
In the 21st century, can a parent do without cartoon in their homes?
That's going to be a tough call. Or a parent in this era not to have TV, not to allow their children watch cartoon, it's a tough call. It is possible, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But I'm sure most parents will disagree. They'll say, no, I want them to watch it because there are so many advantages that it has. We know it has some disadvantages, but what are the advantages, if there are, to watching TV and to watching cartoons?
You know, there are two sides to a coin. There's also the advantage and the disadvantage. The advantage of watching cartoon, I would say, as a mother, it engages these children. They give you time to do what you're supposed to do. If you have to cook, you have to do the laundry, you have to do one or two things in the house, and the kids are always following you around, especially for those of us that still have younger children. You know, the cartoon engages them. Case in point, right now, to do this video, what are the kids doing? Watching cartoon. Else we won't get this done.
Because it's a Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
No, it's a public holiday.
Oh, public holiday. It looks like a Saturday.
Yeah, it looks like a Saturday.
Yeah.
But it's a public holiday.
It's a public holiday. So, you know, the cartoon helps these children and gets them engaged while we do this.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
Yeah, that's a positive. Now, another positive of watching television or cartoon for children is the fact that it's educative. Now, there are a lot of educational programs that children can watch. They can learn grammar, they can learn sweet rhymes, they can learn teamwork from the cartoons that they watch. You know, a lot of vocabulary expansion for them and so many other benefits, you know, that are educational. But to every advantage, they say, there is a disadvantage. Does the disadvantage outweigh the advantages of watching TV?
I think it all depends on the parents.
Yeah.
How do you manage it in your home will determine if the disadvantage would outweigh the advantage. One of the disadvantages is the addiction cartoon brings. You have children that have gone so addicted to cartoons that they wake up in the morning and the first thing they want to do without even greeting is, can I watch cartoon?
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It starts from somewhere. They start watching it 1 day, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it continues until they got to that point of getting addicted to watching cartoon. And there are so many other ones.
Yeah, and to say here that it is not only through television we know. So we're talking about TV and also all the other gadgets, the electronic gadgets like our phones and all the tabs that we expose our children to.
Computer games.
Yes, and all that. So another disadvantage of these gadgets and television is time wasted. Now, children can easily get distracted. Even you as an adult, anything you get involved in that is wasting your time, you need to check it, you need to watch it. So our phones, for instance, we too watch television programs, we do things on the internet that waste our time. Likewise, these children, it wastes their time. So they can be on it from morning till night and they lose track of time. Not only that, there are vices that they pick up, negative influences that they pick up from watching these programs, these cartoons. You know, now you're contending with lots of vices. Parenting in the 21st century has never been more difficult. Our parents think that they had it tough. They should come and ask us questions now, and they see it, right? Tougher. It is tougher now. You're battling with the social vices, the influences that come from the social environment. Now you're also battling with that comes from electronic gadgets, from the internet, from the TV. You see children will learn foul languages just by watching some of these cartoons. They are going to be learning practices that are not healthy. They learn how to fight. They learn how to shoot guns from watching all these sports. They are learning some violent tendencies. And you wonder where they're picking all this from. They are picking it from these programs, of the cartoons that they are watching. Not only that, you see a lot of negative voices which the devil has orchestrated right now in a subtle way, and it is penetrating homes, Christian homes, for parents who are not discerning, such as gay programs. There are a lot of gay programs. Any program you want to watch now, you see some homosexuality and some gay tendencies. They are coming into cartoons. They are coming into teenage programs. Gradually, they are making it look like a norm, and that this thing is a normal thing that children,
cross-dressing,
cross-dressing.
it's acceptable. There's no big deal about it.
Exactly.
They make it look like there's no big deal about it. So why should you frown at it?
And your children are asking questions.
Creeping in little by little, and then your children are sometimes they get confused as to what the society is turning into. So, what can we do to mitigate this? What precautions can we take to avoid our children becoming addicted to cartoon? Some of these vices creeping into their lives and making them act the way the fairy tale world, and they bring it to reality. So how do we mitigate all this?
Now, so even the Bible speaks about moderation, right? Everything you do, there has to be moderation.
Yeah.
Even that eating of your food, which is a good thing, you must moderate it. Your sleeping, which is good, you must moderate your sleeping. So to everything, there has to be a balance. So that is where we come in as parents. So how do we strike a balance and put a moderation to these things?
I think for starters, if you see your children have a tendency to get addicted to cartoon, you have to wake up and say, enough is enough. Gradual withdrawal.
Yeah.
If you allow your kids to watch cartoon endlessly, no caution, no restriction, you have to start putting restrictions in place. They need to know from so time to so time they cannot watch cartoon. When it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. No cartoon. No. Okay, it's just this last scene. Just no. They know it's time, and you stick to it. You don't bend because you're trying to check something.
Yeah.
And once you put that in place, then you can start trying other means.
Yeah. So it's critical for you to do gradual withdrawal. So you don't want to just withdraw it abruptly, right? So another thing we must say here is that, guys, even when you allow your children watch cartoon, you have to watch it together. Know the type of cartoons or the channels that your children are watching. That way, you have an understanding of what you're exposing them to. So case in point, so there used to be a couple of years back, there was a particular cartoon that our children just love to watch. But when we so one day we sat down and we paid a closer attention. We discovered that this cartoon promotes sorcery. It promotes witchcraft that is presented in a modern way. That it looks so beautiful because they are showing it in a cartoon form. Once we caught that, we said, no, this cartoon, it's a no-no in this family. And because of that, we explain to them why. Because there's magic, there's sorcery in it, and you see some witchcraft tendency. Once that cartoon is coming out,
vampirism,
and all that, they on their own, we've trained them to the extent that they now know that, no, this thing is not for me. So they go off that cartoon. They're not watching it. But imagine if you don't know. You will just allow them get exposed unnecessarily to that. And
because you have put the consciousness in them, even if they go out of your house and they go to a home where these cartoons are being shown, they have that consciousness to know that, no, I cannot watch this. And they leave, or they ask them to change it, or they just look for something else, because you are not going to be with them 24/7.
Yes.
So you have to make them understand, not just like our parents in our parents, no, change it. And you're curious, what are they changing?
Why?
So make them understand why they need to change it, why they don't need to watch it, and that helps.
And then another thing that will help you is parental control, parental guidance. Some of these cartoons, they will tell you that PG, parental control, from the age of 13, but your children are below 13, for instance. Even the one that they have said it's all right for your children to watch, even for their age level, but because you as a Christian, you know your moral standing, what may be all right for those guys who have produced this program may not be all right for you, who is conscious of raising godly children. The underlining word there, you're raising godly children in this 21st century. So one of the ways you will do that is to set restrictions. Go and find out, how do I set restrictions? Through your remote control. And then also, are there ways you can subscribe to particular channels and leave out those other channels? But how would you know the channels if you haven't paid closer attention yourself to knowing which ones are acceptable and which ones are not acceptable?
You know, some of these things, they are not popular. But as a godly parent, it is the right thing to do. Some other parents might feel, after all, it doesn't matter. They would outgrow it, you know. But to you, it matters. A little leaven, the Bible says,
living at the whole lump.
Exactly. So don't let that little leaven to get in, because as it gradually, it continues to grow. Another thing you can do is provide alternatives.
Absolutely.
You have withdrawn the cartoon. You have taken away the gadgets. You know, what alternatives are you providing? Are you letting them go out to play in your compound with their bikes? Are you doing something educational? You know, you have to provide alternatives.
Because nature abhors vacuum.
Of course.
So you pull out the television, that's why they will look for your phones. Yes? And these kids are really smart. Now, they know how to get your password. They will look for game. They will go to your neighbors and they will start exposing themselves to different things. So you want to be able to control that yourself under your watch and control. So give them alternatives. So one of the alternatives you can also give is buy games, right? Physical games. Now you can play games together. Get Ludo that the family will play together. Get Scrabble games, get chess games, buy puzzles. So we have puzzles, so you create, let's build a dinosaur together, play Sudoku games, you know, give to them just anything that is challenging. Some puzzles that they need to fit in together. Initially, guys, because they're so used to cartoon, they're so used to pictures.
It's like they're suffering from withdrawal symptoms.
Exactly. So they might throw some tantrums.
Exactly.
They might want to protest. No, this is so boring. I know it's so boring. I don't like it. But once you're consistent and firm,
consistency is the key.
As a parent, you see, gradually they will begin to appreciate and love the alternatives that you're giving them. And as parents, what role do we play in ensuring that they are consistent with us?
Okay, you can't tell your children not to do something while you're doing the other one. Yes, you're an adult. Yes, you have some. You say, okay, it's my house, it's my rules, but you have to lead by example.
Absolutely.
You've put up the TV, you've collected the gadgets, and you sit with your phone. You know, you're going through the bottomless pit of checking one thing after the other. You're entertaining yourself. The cartoon is supposed to entertain the children. You're taking that away from the children. Now they will look for something else to do. If you don't provide the alternative and you don't monitor them in making sure that they go through with those alternatives, they won't do that. So you don't have to sit with your phone. You have to engage them, be part of it. It can get exhausting, but you know what you're driving at. You know the goal. Look at the goal and look at the kind of morals that you want to build up in your children and stick to it. That way, you help your children in the long run.
So one thing that we have done, practically what we do. So in our house, our children know, on school days, no cartoons. Mondays to Fridays, you don't watch cartoon. So when it's weekend, we allow you from so time to so time, you're able to watch cartoons that we have sanctioned, not the ones we have not sanctioned. And then we regulate it. You stop it at this time, you go do other things so that there is a balance. Go out and play, go play with your siblings, do other stuff like that. Another thing we have done, guys, so I got a flash drive, and then we downloaded Christian cartoon.
Superbook stories.
Yes, Superbook stories, Psalteries. We downloaded them off the internet and then we created a folder for them. All they need to do at those times that they want to watch, right? We put this there in the television and they are able to watch godly content. They watch Bible stories and it makes a whole lot sense to them. That is one of the ways we have used to really, and they are so excited about it. See, you're reading about Mary, you're reading about Jesus, you're reading about Esther.
And you're seeing the pictures.
Yes.
You know, it comes to life. Another thing I do with my kids is Bible trivia.
Oh, yeah.
So you go online, you download the Bible trivia, and these are like quiz questions. You get to quiz the kids, and it's exciting, and it's like a reward. At the end of the day, you get your Bible trivia, then you can go watch cartoon. So we use the reward system for them.
So guys, we do hope this video has blessed you as a parent, because we are the gatekeepers. We must guard and protect our children from what they are being exposed to, because the devil is running over time through subtle ways.
Very subtle. It comes in, it creeps in little by little, one day at a time. And if you're not conscious or spiritually alert, you would know. You just wake up one day and you notice something like, where did this come from?
Exactly.
How did we get here?
Your children are showing some tendencies. Your children are using certain languages. There are certain behaviors, even certain spirits.
Of course.
Have been allowed to come into your home, and you wonder, when did this? The enemy sowed the tares while men slept.
Okay.
Are you sleeping as a parent? Guys, it is time to
wake up.
Wake up, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do what we are supposed to do as parents, and the Lord will help us so that we can raise these children and let them fulfill the purpose for which God has brought them into our lives. Guys, we are caretakers. We are taking care of these children. We are going to give accounts.
If this video has blessed you, don't forget to subscribe, click on the like button, and leave us a comment. We would like to read from you. Until we see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.